Making your funeral arrangements can be uncomfortable to talk about, but not making any plans could leave your loved ones lost and confused during an already terrible time. Here to help us get the conversation started is Liz Dowell, manager of Dignity Providers of Baltimore. Liz, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have you here. It is an important topic. I think a lot of people don't want to start the conversation. It seems a little morbid. How do we get the conversation started with our loved ones?
Well, it's really important. There are so many families that walk through our doors at the time of need, and unfortunately, they don't know what their family wishes are. So it's really important that you have those conversations with your family members, let them know what your thoughts are, what your wishes are, and have them documented.
How important is it? Because I think about, you know, just that end of life and planning your funeral and communicating that with friends and family. I guess if you don't do that, you really do leave them sort of up in the air. They don't know what to do, those next steps.
Exactly. So really the first thing you need to do is have some conversation with family, sit down when you are in an unpressured environment, have the discussion, make your wishes known, and then really you need to contact a funeral professional and sit down with them, share your wishes with them, and then let them help you create the funeral or cremation service that you're wishing for.
And I'm wondering too, what's the timeline on this? I mean, is this something that you should do when you're older? Is this something that you should do when you become a parent? Is this, when should you do this?
Honestly, many people will purchase cemetery property years and years and years in advance. You should do the same thing with funeral arrangements as well. There's never a perfect time, but the one thing about funeral arrangements and pre-planning them is it locks in a price of today. So you might make the arrangements today, locks it in, but that event may not happen for years and years to come, but you are guaranteed that price of when you actually paid for them.
Really interesting. And I know that you have a book that will help us get the conversation started and actually make the plans.
We do. So we have developed, it's called the Imagine book, and it's really a book that helps you plan your funeral service. It has step-by-step, goes through each element of the funeral service for you, so it helps you actually put your wishes down on paper, and then you give that to your loved one and they hold on to that for you.
And I know we have some video too of some sort of unique opportunities that you can have at your funeral. I mean, your funeral can be anything you want it to be if you're thinking about it in advance, right?
Correct. By using videos, photographs, even maybe special music, you can incorporate all of your wishes into your funeral service.
I mean, look how beautiful that is. You've got seeds here. I see you had a golfer before. This person liked to kayak. So you can really sort of tailor a funeral service that speaks to you as an individual and how your life was.
Exactly. It's really what we call telling a life story now. So what your passions were, maybe what your pastimes, what you were interested in life, that is what we try to bring out in a funeral service.
And how comforting is that now for your family and friends who are grieving, but know that they're sending you off in a way that you wanted to be sent off in it? Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more now about a celebration of someone's life.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And then also, you can make plans in advance, but also prepay, correct?
Correct. So as we spoke earlier, it's one thing to have your wishes on paper. It is another to actually fund those arrangements.
Yes.
Put that away, have those services done, and again, locks in the prices. You're guaranteed for whenever that event occurs.
You know, my grandfather actually did that years before he ever passed. And I remember in that moment, it was one of those things for our family that we didn't have to think about. We knew exactly what he wanted. It was already taken care of. And so we could just sort of splurge on the extra celebration of his life. And it was such a comfort. And I remember thinking that was one last gift that he gave to us.
You took the words out of my mouth, because it is a special gift that you can give your family, and the burden is taken off of them.
It's just really amazing. So it doesn't have to be a scary thing, everybody. No. You can actually get some help. You can get the Imagine book. Liz, thank you so much for being here and helping us with this. You can get that free Imagine book at dignitybaltimoredc.com. We'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned.